Hi, everyone. Today I woke up with the thought of men and women and the wounded child. I listen to meditations often, and as I'm falling asleep, when I wake up, and what came to me was some information that I was watching on Gaia TV last night is around communication between men and women. Whatever you struggle with in this lifetime at this moment is exactly what your mission, your destiny, and your lesson is. Now, at the moment for me, the highlight is around relationships and communication. Have a scientific mind. I'm quite curious about what makes people do what they do and why they react the way they react. Been like this since I was a child. And as a master astrologer, psychic intuitive, life coach with a psychology and a philosophy background, you can see why. And I work with my clients, and I would say the number one main issue is relationships, not just relationships between their partner and themselves, but also relationships as they were growing up. And I know this is going to sound very Freudian, but the men and the women, when it comes to communication, has a very childlike, wounded energy within it. So I'm going to pose a few questions for you to see if this can help bring you into alignment if you're having or have had in the past communication issues with your partner. Now, one of the things that I explained to a client of mine yesterday, is when I say communication issues, often a woman, especially women, because we gravitate towards communication. We commune with communication. Communication is how we connect with people, right? With our children, with our people, with the ones that we work with our spouses. And so the first thing that they will say to me is like, I communicate. I know how to communicate. I do it all the time. And then I stop them and I go, okay, communication isn't just about talking. And I'm not saying that you don't know how to go beyond just talking. I'm just explaining the art, the aspect, the energy around communication is that you can talk, you can listen, the other person can talk, and the other person listens. That way you are communing together. You're communicating together. And this is a banter that goes back and forth, whether it's heated with anger or it's excited while you're planning a new trip away or buying a new house. It's still you're communing together. Now, how do you communicate together really depends on that wounded child. Is that child someone that has been dominated by their father? Dominated by their father can mean two different things. It could mean that there was some kind of psychological, physical, or emotional abuse, okay, in which the father dominated how you should think, how you should act, how you should feel, okay, instilling in fears, that there is a fear in this world that I need to dominate. Okay, and my first fear was my father. Now, if you have that, and then the second dominating father is the one that feels or thinks, believes that he is protecting you by teaching you how to protect yourself, because there's a lot of monsters and scary things in the world. And I've experienced this, so I'm going to show you how. Okay, and that's again dominating how you think, how you feel, how you act. If you have this type of upbringing, I do not want you to blame your father. I want you to thank him and be in gratitude right at this moment that he is mirroring a lesson, a destiny, a desire that your soul had to learn, to evolve. And therefore, there is a part of you that feels that some dominion over the way you think, how you act, and the way you feel is extremely important to you. And this may go on if you believe in past lives. This could be a behavioral pattern that you've had in many past lives. But if you don't, it can be an ancestral connection where this is embedded in your DNA and you're helping to break a pattern within your ancestral destiny so that you can create a change in the future of your children, for instance. And if you don't have children, you still create a change and a shift within your own parents and any of their offsprings and any of their children. That's a whole nother story. So what do we do when we don't reconcile with this? This is a communication. This is a dance that you had with dad. It may have been mom. Okay, let's say it was mom. Same thing. It's how you feel you should be treated. Okay. And if you saw a father do that with mother, you will expect that this will be a dance between you and your future partner. It'll be a knee-jerk reaction. Unconsciously, you won't even know that you're doing that. So are you the one who dominates the relationship, dominates the communication and the strategy around that? Or is it that he, your partner, or she, your partner, dominates the communication? And how do you dance with that? How you dance with that and how much listening and how much communication and the balance between listening and communication on both sides is extremely important. It is your destiny. It's what you're here to learn, and it will heal the wounded child if you can navigate through this dance. Even if the relationship is destined to end, and I've told my clients this, I'm not telling you if it's going to end. I can tell you when it might end. And when you have the length of time, you have a chance to mend it. But it has to be mended before you move forward. And that might be just be having an amendment with yourself and an understanding with yourself. What is my wounded child? And that's what the most important thing is. What is my wounded child when it comes around communication? And how did that lay dominion on me when I was a child? And can I reconcile? Can I soothe? Can I honor? Can I care for that inner child? Namaste.